up, world? Welcome back to Bomb Boy TV. It's your boy here, Marvin Marv. Today I'm here with one of my besties, Kendra. Say hello.
Hello, people.
So you know what time it is. It's time for Let's Talk.
Hey, with smash stuff coming at ya, coming at ya. Rhyme style disaster coming at ya.
Alright, y'all. So if y'all didn't see in the description below, today we are talking about the big C. I don't know if it's a big C, but like
It's a pretty big C.
a big C change. Not change you get from the store, but change. And change is a very loaded thing, I feel like. But just to start it off, like, so have you ever, so what would you say in your life within friends and relationships was your like biggest change you had to adjust to?
For me personally, I would say the change from being a mom of just one to multiples, and also children that I did not have a biological connection to.
Okay.
So for me, that was a huge adjustment because it went from me just worrying about Grant to also, okay, now I have to worry about Grant, who I've known for the past X amount of years.
You carried, you know.
Yeah. And now I also have to worry about these other children who I'm still learning as well.
Got you.
So that I say would be like the biggest change for me, relationship wise.
Okay. And for me, as far as like, okay, so how can I put this? So, the biggest change is when you guys everybody started having kids. Because I'm used to it now. But back like we were younger and everybody's wanting to go out still. And you can't because, you know, now I think I'm too comfortable because now I just be in the house like I got a whole family and it's just me.
I mean, if you ever invite my children over.
No. It's okay.
Say the word.
I told you, I'll babysit. You just gotta ask me. You can't. I ain't gonna volunteer my services. You just gotta ask me.
It's on video now. Marvin said that people will watch my kids.
You just gotta ask me.
No,
you can't beat around the bush with that topic. You can't be like, "Dang, I wish I had somebody to watch the kids." I'm like, "Show you, I feel you."
But no, that is definitely an adjustment because I remember when we were younger and our one friend was the only mom of the group. Mm-hmm. And that was when we were in our prime. Like, we going out, let's go. And we would ask her and she'd always be like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good.
I can't find a babysitter or something.
Yeah, and I couldn't understand it. But then once it became me who I had to be like, no, I can't go out because I have my son this weekend or I have to take care of Grant, then, you know, it kind of shifted for me and I could understand a little bit better what she was going through. Yeah.
You know what I heard? So it says every 7 years we get new cells or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that changes who we are. Because, you know, like, 'cause I always hear, like, so you being married, do you always think, how do you feel about that? Like, people change as they get older. So the person that you could have like fell in love with might not be the same.
It's different, yes.
Like, how do you?
I 100% can see that. Like, we will be married coming up on 4 years.
That went by quick.
Tell me about it.
Can you have another wedding so I can get drunk again?
Of course. Please, yes. I just want another dress. Okay? Maybe another ring too. 2 kids. But no, I definitely agree that shifts definitely happen because I can tell you now I am different from when he first met me 7 years ago. I don't know, 6, whatever. X amount of years ago.
Right.
I definitely feel like I have changed within that amount of time. It happened like pre-wedding, and then it shifted even more so after we were married because I'm like, okay, I'm a wife now. And even still now I'm like, okay, I'm not a new wife now. I'm a more seasoned-ish wife. So some things I do still kind of like try to shift and change. Sometimes for the better of my marriage, sometimes for the better of my mental health.
Gotcha.
So And I will say this, I despise change. Like, I hate it so much. When they announce stuff at work, like, oh, we're doing this different, I'm like, why? What we were doing before was working. So I think it gives me a little bit of anxiety.
You know, for me, change has to make sense.
Yes.
Like, if you had a baby, it makes sense you're not going to be able to do or, you know, be as available as you once were, especially those first few months, you know what I mean,
Right.
first years. Or like when you get married, you want to focus on your, you know what I mean, those changes or those shifts make sense to me as far as like my friends and stuff. But it's just when people start acting funny and just be, because, you know, they around a new group of people or something, then that kind of.
Yes. That's why I think change is important, but also consistency is important as well. Because I can't let the fact that I've changed from a single person to a married person ultimately change how I interact with you, how I interact with my brothers, how I interact with my parents. You know what I mean? I still have to make sure I'm taking care of those who were with me before
but
the
also,
change happened.
I feel like especially when people get married, I feel like as the friend, you have to be understanding too. You know what I mean? And you have to be aware that your friend can't do everything or might not want to or might not need to or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Everything that they used to do, because it's not just them that they have to think about or feelings they have to consider.
Yeah, that's true.
In situation. So like I feel like I'm very good with that. I haven't always been that way in the past, especially when it was like girlfriends or my friend's girlfriend or something like that. Because I'm just like, you never know if she's gonna be able marriage. I feel like
Dang, Marvin, you're not even giving them a chance.
But I was right though. But but with marriage, I just feel like, because I'm always team relationship anyway. But like, especially
Cancer.
change. I just feel like I said, it has to make sense. But I just feel like you have to also be mindful. You know what I mean? So that, and just understand that not everybody is being shady or being acting funny, which sometimes is the case. But sometimes it's just like, because I feel like one of my other friends, because I don't like change too much, I feel like at one particular time, like every time he goes through a change in his life, we start beefing or arguing really bad or beefing really bad. And then like once he gets through that change, we come back together and we find our new friendship, or not new friendship, but we redefine our friendship and then we're good again. But then like, hopefully we won't go through any more changes.
Here you are again.
Years later. Yeah, but hopefully we won't go through any more changes. But I just feel like once guy getting older, now looking back like, oh yeah, he was every point we had those different moments.
Right. And then also if you know that's kind of how he operates, then you can kind of prepare yourself for it too. Like, all right, Mercury's in retrograde. We're at year 7. I feel a change coming on.
New suns are rising.
But then I think also it's important to be receptive of maybe the criticism of any changes that you make. Like, for instance, I may shift in a way that my husband doesn't feel is in the best interest of our marriage or for myself. And that's when I just kind of have to like lean into who I am as a person and be like, okay, is he telling me this with love, or is he telling me this because he doesn't like the change?
And I feel like you definitely have to be receptive, but with that, when you're voicing that, people have to watch how they say it, because not what you say is how you say it sometimes.
Yes.
That can make the whole conversation
go left.
Because, nigga, what?
Another thing I learned in marriage, I need to check how I talk to myself. Sorry. But
you heard that here, y'all. She got a sorry. My bro got a sorry on camera. Okay, I just want to because
whose friend are you?
I'm just, I gotta be. You gotta know your friends, right? And you know your friends, and they be quick to be like, nah,
just a little bit.
I ain't sorry. No. I was making the same song.
Nigga, no. Sorry. Back to the conversation. But yeah, no, I feel like change can definitely be a blessing, and it's a beautiful thing that people can shift even in our age group, because I wouldn't want 18-year-old Kendra to still be. But I feel like our friendship has changed over the years, and obviously it's been in a more positive way because here we are now, still friends.
Because people can change together.
Mm-hmm.
And then but you know what I hate though? Like, I hate that whole people are in your life for a season. Like, I understand it, but I hate it too.
I think that's the cancer in us. Because I agree, but also at the same time, I see the value in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because going back to relationships, obviously my former boyfriends are not my current husband. But I feel like I was able to take a little bit of a lesson from each relationship and apply it to my marriage now. And turned me into who I am.
Right.
So, thanks, niggas.
And then I also hate how, because I always hear this too, and I always think about it. Like, you know how somebody like gets to a new level of fame, not even fame, but like
leveling up.
Mm-hmm. So like that's the change. So like, and I always hate that you gotta leave people where they are mentality. Like if they're not, like if they're doing something negative that can mess up I get it. But if they're just not into the same thing you are, then why is that a bad, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. I think sometimes people are fearful that if they are leveling up, someone else who is not necessarily leveling up in the same way as them is going to bring them down, like the crabs in a barrel type mindset.
And I feel like that's just being judgmental.
I would agree. I feel like in this day and age, we are quick to write people off as well, rather than be patient and let them develop and let them grow and let them go through their changes and kind of, I don't know, shedding their skin. Right. Essentially. Like, sometimes it's a very ugly process getting to the other side of who you have the potential to be. And when you're going through that ugly process, sometimes people don't have the patience to bear with you and even guide you and encourage you through it.
Right. And then, like, I get, like, life takes you different directions. And I understand that, but it's some people who feel like I'm at this level, oh, I'm not talking to no more. That's when I have an issue. But if life naturally happens, which it does sometimes. Right. And, you go, but you might find your way back together or whatever, or you might just see each other, hey, mommy, who was that? That was my best friend from... Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there's no love lost. But I just feel like if you do things or move ways where you hurt people's feelings in the process, I just feel like regardless of where you are in life, that isn't good.
That's true. Because you can always forgive people for hurting you the way that they do. And all best friends. But going back to change. Yeah, I just feel like change can be one of those things where it's ugly. It can give you anxiety. Me, myself. I know when I first started my current job as a new grad, I would literally get like sick to my stomach every morning on the shuttle because I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go in here and I gotta get these patients out of bed and I gotta suction the vent patients. Like, that kind of change scared me. And I did have the option to switch roles or to just kind of stick it out and see where it led me. Obviously, I stuck it out. Here I am, almost 6 years later, still doing the same thing at the same place. But I definitely feel like I attribute that to my support circle, my work, my coworkers, my friends, my parents, my now husband, because at the time we were, just dating. But I feel like that, just leading to my next point, that how you change and how you process your change also can be impacted by who you lean on. True. And who you can confide in and consult with. Because if you have people who, like at the first sign of you changing and you feel scared or worried and they're like, oh, just give up. Just let it go. Go back to the old way. Then you may not grow. Right.
And you should always want to grow and be better than you were last year or the day before. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that. But change is just a big C. All right, y'all. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And comment below how you feel about change. Which was your biggest change you had to make in your life. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. And thank you, Kendra, for stopping by.
Thank you. I'm going to come back.
Peace.
See ya.